The following live broadcast is rated ESV PG. We don't even know what we're going to talk about, so good luck to everybody on that one. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of ESV. On tonight's show, we're going to be talking about a few different things. We don't actually know it all because we came totally unprepared tonight. And it's only right to do so because the topics are about you. But we're going to try to hit aspects such as the aging body, reactions to children in danger, summer sun and fun, depending if we have time for it. But ultimately, we want to talk to you. We want to hear your topics. So stay with us, enjoy the show, engage in the chat. We're all here for you and all here for each other. You guys ready?
Ready.
All right. I'm not. Yeah, I am. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another Open Forum Sunday here at Ear Shoulder Voice. My name is Keith Litfin. I'm very glad to have you here. Just a reminder, of course, don't forget while you're here to like, share, subscribe, and follow Ear Shoulder Voice on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram. We're on all those. Chat live with us during the broadcast. And also, you can call into the show simply by going to earshouldervoice.com/join. As I said, this is our open forum show right now, so all the topics are about you. If you have anything on your mind, anything you want to talk about, anything that's been in the news that you're curious about our reactions and your own and everybody else, just feel free to, send it out to us. We'll be glad to talk with you about it because we are nothing without you, the chat panel, and we're also nothing without our panelists. So we're going to be nice and we're going to bring them in right now because they deserve it. Our first panelist tonight, of course, welcoming back the one, the only, the beautiful Elena. Elena, what's going on?
Just enjoying the weather.
The weather is freaking beautiful right now. Summer's finally, I feel like it's finally upon us. But we're in Michigan, so expect snow probably next week.
Probably.
I would say we know how that works out here. And you're further north in Michigan, so
I'm in Grand Rapids. I'm just on the other side.
That's further north. I view the world at an angle. So you're further north as far as I'm concerned. Okay, you're further west. Either way, don't make me wrong this early. I don't like to be wrong so early in the show. So what's been going on with you lately? Anything fun, exciting happening this week?
Just a lot of hanging out with the dogs. We've gone to the park a bunch this week, and then today we were at the beach, and one of them got to go swimming. The other one hates water, so.
Okay, well, that's how I am with my two dogs. I got one who loves to swim, will jump in anything, and just go to town all day. And the other one, if it gets further than just his feet, he's scared shitless, has to go back.
Yeah, my blue heeler, he doesn't even want his paws wet. He's not having it. But then I have a German Shepherd Lab mix that just wants to swim all the time.
And we got Joe here. Joe says hello. And hello, everybody. And hello to me, because I'm not part of everybody. So we have to put that in there. Come on, can't get with it. Bill's here, says, okay, what do I win? That's right, because those of you who don't know right now, we're doing our giveaways on our Sunday shows now. All you do is have to engage in the chat. When you engage in the chat, you're putting a little raffle we'll do at the end of the show, and you'll win a piece of merchandise. This week, we're going to be giving away one of our ESV hats. So all you have to do is be in that chat, make a comment, anything you want, and you are entered, and we'll draw that at the end. Let's bring another panelist in tonight. Please welcome back Gabe.
Hi, how are you?
I'm alive.
That's
go figure.
Good.
I'm doubly vaccinated now. I'm feeling good. And I had no issues. A lot of people have had issues with their second shot, so I'm really grateful for that.
When did you get that done?
Yesterday.
Okay.
Yesterday at 3:30, so it's been good. Sore arm, but that comes to be expected with it. So what's going on with you? Obviously, you are having a hell of a time right now. I wanted to bring some of the topics up that you're dealing with, but that would just make it really morbid. So go ahead. You do it.
Well, I brought a lot of it up last week, and I don't want to sort of continue on, but dealing with kidney stones, toothache, and getting my shot tomorrow.
Nice.
My second shot, or not tomorrow, but Tuesday. So it's been a lot for the past couple weeks, and sort of bringing it up, it's made me feel old, and what I was going to say is, what are the instances where your first sort of situation where you're like, oh shit, I'm getting older.
Aside from naps in the middle of the day, I think that's one of the big ones where I'm like, I'm just going to take a nap. That's something I never thought I would ever say in my life.
Yeah.
Probably one of the big ones for me right now is my back. I've suffered now. I've never had back problems in my life. 2 times this year, sciatica.
Yeah.
And I'm dealing with the second time right now. And it's like, oh my God, I'm fucking getting old. And
Yeah.
we're going to talk about that in just a minute. It's one of our topics coming up. But we're going to bring in our next panelist. Please welcome back the staple of our Sunday Open Forums, Anthony. How you doing?
Doing well. How are you guys?
Hi, how's it going?
I'm alive and I'm kicking.
Woo!
So I
I'm
cannot ask for
drinking.
anything more. And she's drinking. So we're all really good. So how's your weekend been?
It's been very fun. We'll just leave it at that. Fun-filled weekend. Lots of drinking. Lots of hanging out. One of my German colleagues, it's his last weekend. So we went out Friday, went out Saturday. And well,
That's cool. So
probably
another
again.
good weekend of drinking for you.
Well, I
I'm
mean,
just
there's-
surprised you're still able to stay awake on this show. Like I would just be passed out if I'm just lying. I do that every weekend.
just keep
I don't-
drinking.
Joe says he hopes he wins. He never wins anything. Good luck to you, Joe. So far, your odds are good. There's only 3 entries right now because we got Drina here as well. Drina, how you been? She says, watching from the sweetest sides, Detroit, Michigan, the USA. Glad to have you. I do like Detroit. I'm right off the suburbs of Detroit myself. 80 today. Nice day. What's the topic? This is our open forum right
tell
now,
us.
Drina. So whatever you want to talk about, anything on your mind, and I'm actually going to kick it off with what you're mentioning right now with the 80-degree days because it feels like summer is finally upon us. So
Until Monday.
how is I know until next week when it snows. So
Wednesday it's going to be 59.
59 I can work with. That's still comfortable.
That's good.
80 was to me this 80 degrees is too hot just because we didn't ease into it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know, it's a lot better if it slowly gets there. Now it's like, oh, I was sweating in bed for crying out loud this morning. But as Joe's here, by the way, Joe says my leg has been killing me. I hope it's not just blood clots again. We'll definitely get that checked out as soon as you can because you don't want to fuck around if it is blood clots. It's better to know they're not because those things can be a lead to instant death for some people. If they break free, they can cause damage in mere minutes. So it's not worth it. Eventually, I'd like to try and talk about my issue from yesterday and what I should do. Well, Joe, that's what we're here for. What's your issue from yesterday? We'd love to hear it. We will definitely talk about it. All right. So, yeah, anybody got any good plans going on because the weather's going to be nice? Anything they're going to do to celebrate? First bonfire, first barbecue, anything like that?
Not me.
You guys really know how to celebrate summer, don't you?
I'm not a big
we're
summer
not there
guy.
yet. Yeah.
Obviously not. We're all in the same place. Elena's the only one that celebrates. She's out in the open, like enjoying the weather right now.
We did
I
have,
wish I could, but I can't haul all this shit out there.
we had a
I was gonna say it's a
small,
little difficult with the setups and everything.
yeah. We had a
You
small
guys all have
gathering.
like really nice setups. I have headphones and a laptop, so
It works, though.
yeah.
What were you going to say, Gabe?
We had a small gathering the other day and had some aunt and uncle visit and a couple people over, so that was nice. Enjoying the weather yesterday as well.
All right. Well, that's definitely good. You think that you're getting your second vaccine? Are you going to be a little more free going outward after that?
Yeah,
You're going
I
to try to
think
do
so.
more gatherings and stuff and feel a little
Right.
more comfortable with it.
I think I'm still gonna do the protections, but I'm gonna venture out more. You know?
Well, yeah, you got to, you should still be cautious at the same time.
Mhm.
We actually changed those that don't know. Next Wednesday was supposed to be our monotonous life topic. We've changed that topic to COVID regarding carrying on with vaccines, inoculations, and determination. So we're going to be talking about that next Wednesday, how people are doing, getting over this hill and trying to get back on track with everything. That'll be next Wednesday.
Right.
And don't forget, just comment in the chat and you are entered for our drawing this week to win one of our ear shoulder voice hats. Let's talk to Joe right now. Joe's got a question like the last time I had blood clots, he almost lost his leg, I'm assuming. My issue from yesterday is the incident between my family and girlfriend. My cousin showed up at my aunt's house, stoned out of her mind. She picked a fight with my girlfriend, and the cops were called.
Mm.
Oh,
Well, what happened? What is your issue about that? I mean, it sucks. Don't get me wrong, but what is the issue with it? What's going on? How does that affect you, Joe? We'll keep talking. We'll get back to you as soon as you have something to say. Anybody else out there got anything you want us to talk about? Just put it in the chat. We will. No problem. That's why we're here. That's why I'm here. So everybody else is too. So regardless
That's why I'm
about
here.
that, I want to hit back to Gabe and what you had talked about briefly. You had said about what point do you feel you're old? And I said we're going to talk briefly about the aging body because that's what I'm feeling 100% right now. I'm finding it hard to move, to get up, and you're looking at a big guy with a ton of energy that just could do anything.
Sure.
You know, always out there, and suddenly losing that is hard. I know we have a pretty younger panel. Everybody's under 50, so we're definitely not that old. So anybody else dealing with those little aches and pains slowly starting to realize, oh my God, I'm getting old?
well, when what was it I think 2 years ago now, I was golfing and I threw my back out picking up a golf ball. That's when I realized, okay,
It's
to be
those little
careful.
fucking things that you're
Right.
like. I mean, I did nothing to hurt my back except for wake up.
Yeah.
Right, and you'd still jump out of bed like a kid, you know what I mean? And then you talk to the doctor, they're like, "Yeah, you can't do that type of stuff anymore. You can't
Take it easy.
just kick your legs up.
Yeah, you
and,
got to do it
you know,
slowly now.
You have to slowly turn like you're a tank and sort of put your legs down. And
So we're going to get back to Joe in a second. He's still adding a few things on there. But what about the mind? This is a topic coming up as well. We're going to have the aging body and the young mind coming up. Does your mind at all feel older?
it never does.
You don't. And I think that's different because I think a lot of people pre our generations did feel older. Well, we talked about it one time on another show. We were talking about just the feeling of being the patriarch feeling and moving on and aging with the group and feeling like a grandma. And now I see grandmas all the time that think they're teenagers.
But is that just a persona, like not so much a mindset, but sort of your role? You know what I mean? Like, there didn't used to be a lot of guys and gals collecting toys back in the day and putting on things full display, and you know, you sort of grew up, and you know, to the phrasing, you know, you put away childish things.
Yeah.
That's sort of gone now, you know. So I think we take on responsibilities and we do definitely the best we can, but the youth always stays there. And
Do you
now
think
our
we
hobbies,
cling?
I think.
Do you think this generation clings harder to its youth?
To nostalgia, sure.
Yeah, more than like previous generations did.
Mm-hmm.
I did too, because I've noticed like people grew out of video games, people grew out of different things like that. We don't.
No.
We want to get back into them, or a lot of us do. Few people actually grow out of them. All right, let's go. Bill says he hopes he wins the ESV boxers unused. I'm sorry, the boxers are all used because I have to test them out personally.
There's a market
Okay, so
for
we're
that.
gonna hit some more right now. First, I'm gonna say hi to Hunter. Hunter, y'all, I'm 22, but being a nurse aide brings on pain. 22, I feel like I'm 60. That's why I was asking, like, Elena, I think she's the youngest one of the panel here tonight, and I was wondering if you had been going through some of that stuff as well.
It was way worse when I was working in a restaurant and running around 12 hours at a time.
It
But
does.
I mean, I'm
Now,
an Annie now, so it's a lot more.
how long did you work in that
Sedentary.
restaurant? Is it something like when you first started, you felt
5
like $1 million
years.
and could do anything? And then as
Yeah.
time went on, you're like, oh, I don't want to go. This hurts.
Yeah, I was like, I started serving and then bartending, and then I started cooking, and then I went into management. I was in management for about 2 years.
Joe says, as you have seen, I feel like I'm getting old. My aches and pains are really catching up to me so badly. It's weird how it hits you. It's hard, and it's starting to face your own mortality is
Yeah.
it's I don't know. It's
It feels like
debilitating.
like a betrayal too, you know. It's like,
Yeah.
you know, a lot of people just sort of go throughout their lives, and you know, they're very lucky to not have their body just say "fuck you." I'm not doing this. You know
and
what
that's
I mean?
what's happening.
Right.
It's constantly my brain is still telling me you can do this, and my body says, hold on,
Mm-hmm.
fuck you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not doing it. I'm not touching it.
Yeah.
You're not. Bill says his mind is still as sharp as one of those little pointy things. You're asking the wrong panel. We're too old on there. Now I want to go back to Joe's problem right now. Joe says his cousin is my cousin, is addicted to heroin, leaves her kids with everybody, and don't pay attention to him. And she started an argument with my girlfriend because we are always taking care of them. Now that is an issue to deal with. Heroin is probably one of the hardest drugs out there, obviously, for anybody to be addicted to, and how they had to handle their everyday life and situations. Now, I don't usually agree with this set of thinking, but have you thought about legal involvement in something like this? And it would be something to look into. I don't believe always in calling like Child Protective, CPS, or anything like that. But in some situations, how much is she neglecting the kid? And if you're always taking care of them, I want to know why is she arguing that you're always taking care of them? Isn't that by her choice?
And are there other family members that are aware of this? Are they supportive or out of the picture? And could you get those family members together to first sort of do, maybe an intervention?
That would be, yeah, like, is there anything else going on? You've got to have a bigger family. The way you've talked before, it sounds like you have quite a large family. So he responded with nothing because it's not showing. Why is this not working? Right. All right. There we go. I don't know. It froze for a second. Joe says he thought about legal involvement, but I'm at a crossroads because it's my family.
Right.
Family or not, you got to draw the line, because she may be your family, but so is that child. And that should be the first concern. The most important concern is taking care of that child. And yet you're going to have to go against family sometimes for what's better. But are there any other options? Is she ever there for the kid? That's the biggest thing I want to know. Is she there for that child at all? Or is he really neglected and just needs outside care? Because there's a big difference. Sometimes people see neglect, and I'm not saying it's your case, but just because maybe they don't pay attention at certain times, they're still giving them everything they need. They're still taking care of them. And there's a difference in true neglect in that. So I'm curious, where does this child lie?
I actually have something similar. Sorry, go ahead.
I just want to read his next comment, and then go ahead. Everyone has tried to talk to her, but she refuses to get help. She walked out of rehab. All right, go ahead, Elena.
So a couple of years ago, probably around 2 years ago now, my sister started using, and she started dating this new guy who had a child, and he was like the sole provider for the child. She's probably around 6 or 7 now, but she's nonverbal autistic. And the two people taking care of her are homeless and living in her car. So when that all first started happening, like, I was doing everything I could to get the police involved, because someone needs to be taking care of that child.
Yes.
Neither of them are doing it. And neither of them would let anyone else help, because they would just be like, well, you think I can't do it. It's like, because you're not. You're on drugs and you live in a Ford Focus and there's 3 of you.
Well, that could be an issue, and that definitely involves some kind of legal involvement on there, and they should.
Yeah.
And I think his hardest issue has got to be that his family. Obviously, he's still seeing the child. The child's in his life. He says that she's been taking care of him. He says she is around the children once in a while, but she never really pays attention or takes care of it. If you're going to call CPS, you definitely are going to have something stronger than that. And I hate to say it, but it's going to be a waste of time to do it at that point. You would have to be able to prove that her drug abuse is truly affecting that kid.
Not just that, but CPS isn't as friendly as everybody says. So, I've seen situations where, the caring relatives want to take care of those children or something for a moment, but they don't even get the option from Child Protective Services because they decide they want to put them immediately into foster care. So it's a slippery slope. Read into it. Definitely, if you know somebody who's dealt with Child Protective Services, talk to them and see about their experiences.
Joe says,
Things like
"Sorry, I'm
that.
trying and driving and listening to the show." Joe, just a
Yeah, don't
suggestion.
text and drive.
Stop
Don't do
texting
that.
and driving.
Listening is absolutely awesome, but we don't want you texting and driving. If you want, you are free to pull over for a second, go to our website, earshouldervoice.com/join, and you can call in. You can do it off camera if you want to. So it's just your voice. So I would definitely don't recommend the text and driving thing on there. So we'll get more. I have more to say about that, and we'll get back to it in a little bit. But if you find a way to, please don't text and drive. I feel if I say or ask any more questions, I'm endangering you, and I don't want to do that.
Definitely not.
So we're going to go over to, we'll get back to you, and we're going to go over to Drina. Drina says, I did a favor for a family member of a friend who I looked at as a family member of mine until her husband was thanking me and said 2 things I knew not to correct. I don't know his wife. She's very particular, and I'm not family. They're expecting more from me. Sounded good at the time, but I now totally regret getting involved. It's definitely going to cause distance between me and my family divorce friend. Friends you truly think of as family divorcing you without your knowledge. And .h, didn't say anything else on that. And that's what you've got to be careful of. That's especially for Joe, because I know you're listening to this right now. You are going to have a stress level, and you're going to cause stress between you and your family, big time, if you do this. But if you have enough support from the family, talk with other family members and let them know what you intend to do. Because if you do that, then you'll have the support that's actually going to be necessary to get you through it without the whole family disowning you, thinking you're trying to get out of the middle of that. And I don't know, Drina, how did that work out for you overall? Like, after all that was done, how did it work out for you? Did it end up benefiting you or whoever you were looking for, or not? So we'll wait for a response on that one as well, because I want to bring that up to Joe. I'm going to make sure Joe can connect as well to call in. I'm out. Drina is out. You're out. Oh, that makes me sad. Well, we always love having you on here anyway, Drina. But I was wondering how it affected you, and that's the same thing with Joe. Have you tried talking to other family members? I'm making sure I can get that link up for you real quick. So you guys talk amongst yourself for a minute. I'm going to get Joe in here on the show.
So how are you?
Doing well. How are you?
You guys,
I'm good.
This is why I host
good.
the show.
Yeah.
What are you saying, Keith? So I'm thinking we should have a coup.
Oh.
Maybe.
A coup. Okay. This is getting really
Because
weird
maybe
right now.
Keith is maybe stepping over.
Oh, she's okay. Drina said she's out of the
maybe-
situation. I thought you were leaving us, Drina. I was so sad for a minute. Okay. And she said at the time it started as a favor, and that's what it usually is. And I'm sure Joe was in the same situation. By the way, Joe, once again, go to earshouldervoice.com/join. You'll see a link there to call into the show. Just click on it. All right. So that's the thing we often do is things start out as favors. We want to help somebody, and we live in a world where people like to take advantage of that. They like to say, well, if you're doing it once, you'll do it again.
Mm-hmm.
And we do it again because we're just nice people.
Yeah, or the favors get bigger and bigger because, they helped me do this little thing, so maybe they'll help me do this slightly bigger thing.
Right.
Right. And what do? Do you stop doing favors for people? Drina, I'm curious about your situation too. Does that like kind of a wake-up call where I don't want to do things because of what it turns into? Because I get those moments sometimes when I'm doing it. Like, if I do this, I know where it's going to lead.
Well,
I know
sometimes
what's going to happen.
you just have to know how far you're willing to help people, right? And be able to say no at times. Yeah, I'm fine with helping you with this part, but I can't do X, Y, Z.
Mm-hmm.
When
and
I
just
was
set
going through
boundaries.
When I was going through the whole thing with my sister, like similar to Joe's situation, it got to a point where like there were harsh words said back and forth. She was asking me for money because they didn't have any money to get high, and I said I'm not gonna fund you in that. She said some really bad things, and now we haven't spoken in over a year and a half. So like I feel like sometimes the best thing you can do for your own mental health is to remove yourself from the situation.
Yeah.
But in Joe's situation, the hard thing about that is you're putting a child at risk doing so. If you feel there's actually a problem with that, you're putting that child at risk if you remove yourself from the situation because you think you could help.
Right. I
and
mean,
that's-
before I exited the situation, I got CPS involved, so they know everything that's going on. I have no idea what's going on nowadays because I have no contact with either of them. But I felt like I did what I needed to do, and there was no other way I could help.
Drina says it did start out as a favor. That turned into payment, but I'm not someone who accepts being spoken to any kind of way, especially when I'm actually doing way more than what's asked. And that's true. We do that now, but I don't know if you fell in the trap that I have, is you constantly deal with it because of other factors involved. Kind of what we were talking about, like the kid with Joe is involved. So we would stay in the situation because of that. Which that is, I think, where his biggest issue is he obviously loves his child. And speaking of which, here he is via call-in. Joe, how you doing?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
You're good. You're good. You're good. Well, we're glad to have you. Bye. All right.
Okay.
So that last.
That was quick.
Hopefully he's parked.
I hope he is too. It's weird. I think I still hear his audio, but he cut out video-wise. Drina says, what was said I can't overlook because her husband said you're not family. So I'm accepting no excuses.
Right. I mean, do what
Shouldn't
you
there be
feel
more
you
praise?
should, but don't feel bad if
Yeah, you would think they'd be happier if you're not family helping them out.
Yeah, that you're doing something to help other people out. I would think that would be something people would be grateful for.
right.
Apparently not, because apparently some people are just assholes out there. And that's what you got to do. Like you said, Drina, you're out. You had to take that moment to get out of the situation. And that is definitely somebody who's just taking advantage of you. And the amount of probably struggle you went through taking care of their needs probably caused the same kind of issues, like more mental stress on yourself. So it was good to escape out of that. Joe, tell me what's going on, Joe.
All right, yeah. My cousin Nicole, she I shouldn't mention names, but she'd been on heroin for quite some time, and for almost a year, my girlfriend and I raised her children and tried to help her out. We've given her stuff for the kids, take care of the kids and everything. And yesterday, she decides to try and say that while we were off at work, she was watching her kids and we were off partying and everything else, but we were at work and she's trying to throw us in the same thing as what she's doing. And she was at my grandma's house, my aunt's house, while I was over at my other aunt's house. And apparently they got into a fight over the children and what should be done because she was stoned out of her mind and just falling everywhere and shit. And the cops got called by the neighbors and everything. And it's just a situation that honestly, I've already once, took measures and called and did what I needed to do. Apparently the case was closed. And I'm really on the edge of having to call again because honestly, legal matters do need to get into this because these poor children, the way they act and everything because of their mom is just outrageous.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is the child situation that you're talking about? You got into the fight, but what was the fight about? Where is the struggle? I'm trying to find out.
The fight was about because she is always gone. She's never around for the children. Her mother, my other aunt, takes care of them. If not, she asks us to take care of them. And something was said about it yesterday that she needs to get off the shit and get her shit straight and get her life together for her children. And she went off the whole subject of I'm not doing anything wrong and blah, blah, and this and that. And my kids are fine. And it all blew out of proportion. And the cops were called, like I said.
How much of your family agrees with you?
Seeing as I only have two aunts left, the rest of my family's gone. The grandmother, my aunt, doesn't really want that to happen. She just figures everybody else is going to help out the kids and do what they have to do for the children, and nobody's going to have to get involved. My other aunt, on the other hand, agrees with me on it, that something needs to be done because these poor children are suffering because their mother's not around and they're taking it out on everybody else. My 9-year-old niece had the nerve to walk up to my aunt and say, I don't want to be here with you. I don't want to be around you at all because her mother's not around. So she's being disrespectful to everybody.
So it's definitely flowing into other family members too, and it's affecting everybody. Has anybody tried to get together as a group or as big a group as you can get with your limited family to try to discuss it with her and options?
Yeah, we've all tried. She about 2 months ago tried to go to rehab. She walked out maybe a day later, didn't even give it a chance, and just walked out, went right back to what she was doing. Come around borrowing money, going and being stupid.
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be a point, it's if that the entire family, whatever she's got left, all those support systems are going to need to get together and sort of agree to either stop enabling her collectively, stop giving her
Right,
money.
yeah.
Things like
Yeah,
that.
her mother enables her so much because her mother drives her to Detroit to the houses and stuff to get her shit or go pick her up from there and everything else. And she's even taking the kids down to the spot with her, and that's where I drew the line, and I made the phone call the first time because
Really
I found
quick,
out
Joe?
she had taken the kids down.
Before we
Yes.
continue, Drina's leaving, and I wanted to answer her question real quick, or her statement really quick. She says, I don't want to lose the friendship that I expect as family, and both my parents did. So to be told I'm not family shocked me, and I feel bad, but I'm out. Thanks, guys. Well, Drina, we love
Thank you.
having you here. I'm so glad you're out of that right now, but never take somebody saying that. I know how shocking it is when you feel like you're family to somebody to hear words like that, because you've put yourself as family, you've treated them as family. But don't ever let that get down on you, and don't feel bad because of that, because that is their ignorance and their asinine behavior on even thinking that way about you. You're obviously an incredible person. Just because they can't see it is no reason to punish yourself. Okay,
Exactly.
You are family to a lot of people.
Right.
So Drina, I do like everything you've ever said on here, and I appreciate when you have any kind of input. I keep misreading it. He says I'm staying with you. I'm out of the situation. Keep saying I'm out. I'm like, fuck. I'm fuck you guys. I'm out.
Right.
Screw you guys. I'm going home. But Drina,
You're
you are always
dyslexia.
and you are one of those people with a really huge heart, Drina, and it's just a shame that some people can't see stuff like that. All right, so Joe, back to you on there right now. You're pretty much given a choice here, as sad as it is. If the family's not going to do anything, if you're unable to, you say you're watching the kid and you're doing more for the kid than anybody else. Are you taking the kid out of the situation?
The children have been at my aunt's house, and I've taken them to the house and taken care of them and whatnot. So, yeah, I've taken them away from the situation, and the subject was brought up by the grandmother about giving custody to her so she can try and get things straight. But the kid's mother just absolutely refuses. No matter who it is, because the first time they were called, the CPS worker asked me and my girlfriend when I had my house, if we would be a safe house for those children, because they knew the children were there, because the school was involved, and they had called also because the children weren't logging on for school and doing
so
everything.
CPS has already been involved in this?
Yes, CPS has already been involved and already been called. My understanding is they closed the case, and I don't see how.
Well, if you said you were giving them a safe house to be in and you were taking care of the situation, they probably were trying to avoid it going into a legal battle.
Right.
There to the point, as long as you're giving them something. But if that situation is changing, it needs to be addressed again, whether it's closed or not. If you've already involved them, then they should be involved even further. And if the school saw enough to involve CPS, then maybe there is some merit to you contacting them as well.
Right.
On there, I would definitely suggest you do that if you can. But I talk to your other family, and I would express with other family members what you're going to do, so that they understand before you do it, or else you could come out looking like the bad guy behind everyone's back.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, try to do it collectively instead of an individual. That way it's not pointed just at you and your girlfriend. It's a mutual agreement with the rest of your family that this needs to get taken care of.
Right.
And more than family, like we mentioned before, the child is also family. Pick the one that's going to benefit most from this action, and it's going to be that child.
Right.
Well, I appreciate that. I hope we helped. Do you have any other questions for us while you're here?
Nope. I'm gonna get back on the road here, and I'm gonna keep listening to the show, and let's have a great discussion.
All right.
Excellent. Happy to have you here,
Drive
Joe.
safe.
Thank you very much for joining us.
No
Not a
texting and
problem.
driving.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
problem.
Right, no texting. I'll be listening, but I won't be texting.
All right.
That's
Yeah.
fair. Stay safe. All right. That was good. I hope that works out for him.
For
like
sure.
Drina
it's
said
a
too,
difficult
it's-
situation.
It's really hard, even with like Drina mentioning that she wasn't family, but felt like family, to hear that. And he is family, and the last thing he wants is to be dismissed as family, as not being family or being against his family. It's a hard situation to go through. There is no exact right answer on how to deal with it. It depends on, what people's situation is.
And how
but-
people react to it. It's different for everybody,
And it's definitely important to, get other opinions and talk to other people and get people involved. The biggest mistake I think a lot of people out there make when they want to help or fix somebody is they choose to do it on their own. And they try to go and they circumvent everybody in their life. And you can't. You've got to involve. I'm loving when you're freezing over there, Elena, because you look like you're in deep meditation. You don't see it, but you're freezing a little bit every once in a while. And you're just like, oh. Drina says, my ex and I talk from time to time, and he is married. And the exes, I don't see the ex. I don't know. Did we talk about the ex yet? Okay, then I don't feel bad. Okay. I don't think so. But that's good. Some people can maintain friendships after that, and even after they get remarried. Most of my exes I've maintained a decent friendship with. That's good. But he said something I feel crossed the line. What did he say, Drina? I'm waiting for your answer on that. Just tell me what he said on there. Don't forget, just chat in the comments. No matter what you say, you're entered for our contest. You can win one of these lovely snapback ear shoulder voice hats.
Ooh.
That's right. All you got to do is comment, and we'll draw that towards the end of the show.
Where's my shirt?
I've got your shirt. Where you been? You've
Yeah.
been like
I want a
COVID
shirt.
quarantined.
I'm here.
Drina says, we really are friends, but I feel he's thinking something else. So he's married and he's trying to, you feel like he still wants to be with you. Is that what you're saying? Drina, that's what I'm assuming. And you are really friends, so you obviously don't want to lose that friendship.
Yeah, definitely throw out, small little friend zone, pointers like, oh, I'm so glad you're my friend and just a friend. And I just,
Yeah, 'cause we
that
took
I don't
that
have to deal
so
with
well.
anything,
Yeah.
like relationships, because you're just such a good friend and friending all the time. And
Hi, friend.
great
We do
friend,
all these friend things
friendly
together.
friend.
And like if you're out and you meet somebody, it's like, yeah, this is my friend. Like we're just friends.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
all we ever
strictly
have been, friends. And introduce them that way. They might get the point. But he says, she says, as far as crossing the line, tell me about a sexual encounter that I don't remember the way he do. He does. Drina, that's a guy thing.
Mhm.
We remember them all differently than you do. I'm just going to tell you that right now. But we usually don't go and tell you how we remember it,
No.
unless we're trying to prove a point.
But we were always good, at least.
Yeah, we were the best. I mean, it was awesome. There was nobody
Right.
better than us.
Flawless victory.
But I feel he's looking for
Fatality.
something that I'm not, and we are just friends. And Drina, this is not Mortal Kombat. We'll get into our movie section afterwards.
Friendship. Friendship.
Felix looking for something. We just friends. Friendship. She says, please. Okay, you have to set those. Have you tried setting any kind of ground rules or letting him know how you feel about this? Because sometimes people can interpret things. I'm not saying you're wrong, but they can interpret it the wrong way. Because the person they're with, the ex, feels are so close, they can share so much. But I would try to find out if that's actually what he is looking for, if there is something else. Friendship. And she says, yes, he has. And what was his response? Did he tell you what he was looking for? Because friendships, that's the hard thing. I like to stay friends with all my exes, but believe me, I've had exes that want to take that friendship back to that moment when it was more than a friendship. And
Right.
sometimes you have to cut the ties with them. Sometimes you can actually talk to them and explain it and explain their place.
And also just explain that you are not a homewrecker. and that you're
There
never
is
gonna
the
be
fact
a
that
home
he's
wrecker.
married. Yeah, I should add that. There is the fact that he's married.
You know, I mean, definitely rest on your laurels that you are not that type of person. You're not going to risk ruining that, and keep it simple.
Joseph says the friend zone sucks. The friend zone can suck, but if you're married to someone else, you should
It's
be okay with that.
necessary.
Like, I'm just saying. She says, please. He said exactly what he wants, and I laughed it off. So I'm assuming that he has flat out told you. There's not you thinking there's something else. He's flat out told you there's definitely
Ooh.
something else. You saw that too, huh? Let's bring it up. He lives a free life with and without his wife. I'm sensing a possible. I'm thinking there's a possible reason why he's your ex, Drina. Like,
Just call his
that
wife.
but
Just call his wife. It'll stop real fast.
She's on the phone
well.
right now.
His wife is listening in.
Joe says you never know, they could have an open relationship. It doesn't
Why are
matter.
you texting and driving, Joe?
You better be pulled over, motherfucker. So-
We just
Exactly.
talked about this.
But the thing, it doesn't matter if he has an open relationship. She's not the person that's going to get involved with somebody who's married, nonetheless her ex.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
I don't care
not
if it's an
interested.
open
It doesn't
relationship or
matter.
not. Right. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not a sister wife. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
On there. I was like,
That life's not for everybody.
No.
it's not. And I don't know. I just feel this got so weird. Joe's actually back at his aunt's house. Well, glad you're back
Okay,
at your
good.
aunt's house.
All right.
Okay, good. We feel better about that, Joe.
All right.
What you got there, Elena?
Oh, so Costco sells huge ass margaritas. This whole thing was
That
$10.
looks like a Costco something.
Oh my god!
Very nice. I just saw the big bottle. I had to.
Already got the tequila in
It
it,
already
huh?
has the $10. It's delicious.
You're doing that like drunk bottle holding thing. I love that. You're just like that. Yeah, it already has the tequila right in it. This little
was
bitty
great.
bottle.
We
Just
love
look at it. Just look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love how we all have
Going-
a bottle within arm's reach.
We do.
Right.
Like, I want to get back to Drina really quick on that because I've got similar situations, and one of them, I won't bring up her name because she's still a part of my life, but she's got back with me after 10 years. She's been married since. We broke up under some pretty horrid circumstances, and she slowly has been developing wanting to get back with me. And I've said continuously, the first issue, you're fucking married.
Right.
You know, that makes it a fling. And if you're willing to have sex with me, well, then you're willing to cheat on your wife, which means you'd be willing to cheat on me, or your husband, which means you'd be willing to cheat on me.
Yeah.
And the same thing goes, I think, in Drina's case. That's one of the hardest things. If your ex is willing to cheat on you, on his wife with you, well, then he'd be willing to cheat. That's not a good quality person. But
Yeah,
it got
it's-
to the point with her that it wouldn't stop. So I pretty much ghosted her every time anything to do with sex or something more was brought up. Until it worked. And I had to go long periods sometimes without talking, but eventually there became a better discourse in our conversation. It was a lot smoother at that point, and she started to understand, but sometimes they don't.
Mhm.
She says, I ask about his wife and kids in every conversation. That is a smart
That's
move.
perfect.
Like you're
Hey,
sexy as
friend,
hell.
how's
how are
your
your wife?
wife?
Right.
Yeah.
How is your wife? How about your
That
kids?
is
How are they
probably-
doing? I bet they love
That's
having
one
their
of the-
mom in the house.
Best
Mhm.
things you can do. Best things you can do because it constantly reminds them exactly where they stand and where they should stand.
Right.
So don't stop with that. Keep pushing that every time he brings anything up. Just be like, yeah. So how's your wife?
Mhm.
How the kids?
Right.
How's the girl you're actually fucking right now? Not me. Like,
It's good that we're
Bill's-
not destroying lives today, right? That's what you just say. It's like
Yeah.
we're saving.
let's keep
some.
it simple. Let's not become villains to anybody. Let's just
Bill's here. Bill says my
friends.
wife told me flat out it was over. Had and still have a hard time accepting the truth. We are separated, but not legally. I hope we can still be on a friend basis, but don't know if it's going to work out. And that's really what a lot of this conversation is become about. And it is trying to maintain that friendship after you're together with somebody. It is a very good thing to be able to do that. but it's definitely not a guarantee. And you have to know when to step away because this person is just not going to accept that. They're not going to accept that they can be a friend. Has anybody been in any relationship similar to that where they've tried to keep it in the friend zone and it just doesn't work?
No.
Go ahead, Elena.
I have an ex from high school that still hits me up. It's like, bro, I haven't seen you in real life in like over for 3 or 4 years. Like, stop trying to hit me up. I don't want to be your friend because you just keep getting weird. Like, it's not going to happen. Like,
did you try
stop.
being friends initially?
Yeah, because we have a really good mutual friend that I actually met through him while I was dating him in high school. And our mutual friend has become such a good friend of mine. He's actually my maid of honor for my wedding, like our mutual friend is. So for a while, of course, it's like, yeah, let's try to like be civil so we can both hang out with Mike all the time. That didn't work. Because like every time we were hanging out, he was like, "Ooh, Elena's gonna be there. Like, let's make sure we like get super drunk." And like, oh, it was creepy. It was gross. Like, it wasn't about it. So like, now we'd
And
fast.
Well, as Joe says, the friend zone sucks, but that's when you got to do it.
Yeah.
You know, like, listen, you do it again, we're never going to fucking talk again.
And that's your ex? And that's your ex. So
That's
you
her
guys
ex.
broke up. Did you break up with him or did he break up with you?
It was kind of mutual.
Okay.
Not 100% apparently.
Yeah.
Apparently, looking back, I guess it wasn't. But at the time,
Maybe
it was very
80-20?
mutual. Yeah.
Right. Trina also says we share a love of a few things that could be financially beneficial for all. There is that money thing. I don't want to go too far into that money thing, but there is that money thing. You know what? I'm going to a short story about my mother. Before she had died, my stepdad had died before. And I asked her one time about getting remarried or having a life again. And she said she wants herself a sugar daddy. She wants somebody who'll just pay for everything she needs. And I didn't really get that at the time because it wasn't my mom. I knew my mom. My mom's not that kind of person. But she said, I spent all my life taking care of everybody. I've given them everything and I've been left with nothing. It's about time I got my just desserts. I deserve this right now.
Absolutely.
I want somebody to take care of me. So I don't think it's necessarily wrong to keep people around for that financial benefit. I don't know exactly what the benefits are, but hey, finance is finance.
As long as no one's getting hurt, sure.
As long as no one's getting hurt, I agree. Joe says, I take a ride around all these beautiful women dresses in shirts today, driving me wild. That was random. All right, well, you get wild. Adrena says, but it's back to the past before the text or call end. Yeah, and that's what you gotta be smart and say, I gotta go. Or, bring up that wife thing again or something.
Thank you, friend.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bye, friend.
Hi, friend.
Yep, exactly.
Or just find a new friend.
There is that, but you forgot about the
But that's so
financially
simple.
beneficial thing. Which I don't know if this is an ex-husband, so there could be a tax thing too as well. I don't know. It could be anything like that. That's what someone with Superphone keeps blipping in and out. Well, get a new phone.
Yeah.
Cole Orton. Hey, Cole, we missed you. We missed you. Cole Orton. how you
Every
doing?
time I see his name, I want to say ColecoVision.
Guess you chaps aren't in favor of making divorce illegal, eh? I am in favor of divorce because we're stupid people.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we marry quickly for the wrong reasons. I'm not saying what we do is right, but we do.
Sure.
It's so many people jump into the lifestyle. Nobody, gauges it out.
Without living with each other.
Yeah. People get married and move in after they get married. You do not know somebody before you move in with them.
No. You
At
do
all.
not.
Totally agree.
Mm-mm.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
They are a totally different person. Sometimes it can be better when you move in with them, but a lot of times, no, you better get used to some
A
flaws that
lot
they've
worse.
been hiding at home. Yeah.
Right.
It's easy to hide your flaws at home if you've got a different home to do it in.
Yes.
But what about you guys? Do you think divorce should be illegal?
No.
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 You don't? Do you think there should be any kind of statute on marriage that prevents you getting a divorce for a period of time or something because you're entering into this to begin with? Well, I mean, the reason the divorce rate is so high is because people just get married and know they can get divorced.
Sure.
You know, but should there be something like you can't get divorced within so many years of your marriage or anything like that? Because I kind of think there should be.
Right.
I see. That's where I actually disagree. I think there should kind of be something like that, only because it would make people try harder.
They'd take it more serious. They wouldn't just jump into a marriage knowing full well if it doesn't work out in 6 months, well, we can just get divorced.
Right. And the sad thing about that is
someone else getting divorced doesn't affect me, so I don't give a fuck.
Well,
no, but it can affect their kids. You know, as time goes on too. Like maybe they have kids who are now attached in there, and that can affect them as well when they got married for stupid reasons, and they have kids and they can't get divorced. Or, you know, I just think there should be something a little more involved there.
But I mean, at that
Not
point, you're talking about right. But you're talking about a different situation. You're talking about custody and things like that.
Well, I'm saying it can all lead to that. You know,
Right.
divorce. People think with divorce, well, hell, it's just two people separate, big deal, like a breakup boy and girlfriend. But it's not like that.
But that's what it is. It's one person. You are counting on two people loving each other for the rest of their natural lives, to agreeing that they are going to see each other die. At that point, during that lifetime, somebody sometimes goes, you know, I'm just not doing this.
And that's fair.
Right.
But see, it would allow.
But then you're talking about sort of the separation and the effects of children and things like that. The divorce is completely separate from custody and those types of legal ramifications. Divorce is just divorce.
Well, I feel like if we made it illegal too, like let's say right after Brandon and I get married, I start beating the fuck out of him. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he shouldn't legally have to stay with me. Even if
There would obviously be stipulations and stuff like that. You know, if you're abused or anything, it doesn't mean you're locked in, even if you're getting the shit beat out of you.
Yeah.
You know, and I think you could take Brandon, so that'd be pretty dangerous.
He's 6'8". Like I don't think I could take him at all.
Those small ones are wiry and scary as fuck. No, we tall, we big, but we fall hard. He can't. But no, you see, if you are obviously in an abusive relationship, there's some kind of stipulation to get you out of a marriage or anything like that, which you should be no matter what. But you should be more conscious what you're getting into. And I do think people got to look closer on that. Cole Orton continues, by the way, if you're taking vows before God, shouldn't you honor it till death? And if you are getting married under God, under your religion, or whatever religion it happens to be, and you're taking those vows, yeah, you should honor them, but that is more a moral question based on your religion.
Right.
If you should.
Not everybody.
The sad thing is, oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, if anything, like it should be legal. It should be like a law that you have to do marriage counseling before you get married. Like
that would be something.
Month of counseling.
That should be something. Even something as far as you must maintain the same residence for a year before you get married.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something simple like
I agree
that.
with that.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get married.
But that goes against people, because in a lot of religions, they don't move in together until after they get married. So it'd be hard to make that a law too, because it's going against some people's religions.
Well, yeah, but that's 2,000 years ago. I mean, really, it is. A lot of people
doesn't matter.
just
We don't get to
do
make
that
laws
anymore.
based on other people's religions.
Actually, it's not even.
No, I don't.
Sad
We
thing is,
don't get
that's
to
what
make
marriage
laws
is.
based on religion.
I think it's just a couple hundred.
But
years.
marriage itself is based on religion, and it is the government who stepped in on that. So you're already doing that, and that's what we're saying with the legality of it. Your law is for the government. The laws I'm talking about, or the prerequisites I'm talking about, would be government stance on it since they're issuing the license.
Yeah.
As far as you staying together and going against God or your vows or anything like that, that's on you. Perish in hell. You know, if that's what your religion states, if you separate. So that's on you. But you have to remember they're separate anyway, because marriage is a religious thing that government controls.
I got an idea.
Yes.
Put both of them in a really advanced escape room for a week.
that would
out.
definitely work.
No one's getting
Teamwork,
married.
bitch.
Right. If you get out, congratulations.
No one's getting married at the
You
end of
can
it.
get
Right.
married if you make it through.
Bill says he has exes from 35 years ago trying to come back in his life. I tell them there is a reason you are an ex. And I tell people that a lot of times. And Drina, it would not hurt to tell yours that. Like, this is why it didn't work. Drina says, "Do that marriage shit? Does the marriage shit really work?" And if you're asking me on a personal level,
Works
fuck
for me.
no. But I'm sure you can talk to other people like Gabe over here, and it works for him.
Ask me in a couple years.
And we'll find out from you in a couple of years for sure. But
I'm
Drina
very
says she's
fortunate.
hoping to be married one day, and I hope you get to be married, because I don't believe in marriage because I'm cynical based on my life and what I've experienced. But I've seen so many work out so well. There is a lot. I hope you do too. I hope you find somebody for that. And Joe says marriage sucks. But well, that depends on what you got in. Like I said, we all have different opinions, but
Right.
Gabe can attest there's some marriages that are really good.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely it's a formula of luck. It's the people that say they want the same things and actually do. That's the evolving thing. That's the thing that changes over time.
I have a question actually for Cole Orton, because you brought this up, and again, because I'm unfamiliar with some of the customs overseas as I am over here. Is there still government control over marriages like there is here? Or is it entirely religious ceremony? I actually don't know the answer to that. I don't know if anyone here does. So yeah, just curious, Cole Orton, is there any government control over marriages over there? Because here it's a legal document. You've got to go through steps in the courts to get done. More than just have it. So we've got a couple things here. We're gonna do it. Of course, we've got Gabe here, and Gabe is really sad because last week he missed out on our little episode of Grady's Believe It or They Did What Now. So I want to find out what he's got for us. So let's do that right now.
Yeah. So they did what now?
All right, Gabe. So what do you got for us?
All right, so I have scoured the internet and found these two stories today from Adi.com. The first one is My Little Pony fandom faces internal strife over white supremacists.
What?
Say what?
My Little Pony. I know, I can't believe
Oh,
it's a
God.
fucking article. My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic is the third TV iteration of the popular toy and media franchise. But recently, this community has had to struggle with a surprising problem. Namely, that they're trying to decide what they should do about their small but vocal minority of white supremacists and straight-up neo-Nazis. One of the more significant platforms in this early phase of the popularity of bronies, which is the male counterpart to My Little Pony fans, was 4chan. And because of that, there's been a lot of white supremacist channels regarding that. So
Over My Little Pony.
so the white supremacist ideas within My Little Pony fandom are mostly expressed through fan art. This takes many forms, from artists putting words in the mouths of the cartoon's main characters to them coming up with their own pastel Nazi ponies.
Oh, geez.
Much of the fandom's art is collected on a website called Something. The site even has a racism tag that at the time of writing has 705 entries.
What is wrong with fucking people?
Yeah,
It's My Little Pony. Leave it alone.
Right. I agree.
it is.
I agree. I want to move away from that one because, that's just fucking stupid.
Yeah, it's a shame.
It is that you take something like My Little Pony, which is supposed to be all beautiful and loving and, make you feel good, and they turn it into that. People are fucked up in this world.
It's just so you can, okay. So
This one looks a lot better.
This one is much better news for this lady. Woman finds $250,000 worth of whale puke on beach.
What?
Okay, how do you find
Tell
money
will
worth?
help you.
So listen to this. On February 23rd, Nyamarin was on a walk at a beach after a rainstorm some 500 yards from her home. Lucky. But as she was walking along, she discovered a strange lump. About a foot wide and 2 feet long, the thing resembled a rock in an off-white color.
That's whale puke.
So it definitely wasn't a rock, though. The texture was all weird, and the lump smelled faintly of fish. She thought that what the misshapen blob might somehow be worth a few bucks, so she decided to pick the 15-pound object up and carried it back to her house.
Oh,
She would,
jeez.
she would soon be very, very glad she did. Whale vomit, also known as ambergris,
And not going to touch it.
Yeah.
is an incredibly precious commodity. It is widely used as an ingredient in the most expensive perfumes, ladies, and as such, it can sell for a pretty penny. This isn't the first time some lucky beachgoer has discovered a pile of ambergris that ends up selling for lots of money. Just a few months ago, a 6-year-old gentleman discovered several chunks, each weighing about 220 pounds, and found that it was worth nearly $3.5 million.
Who wants
For
to go
a
look for
chunk.
whale puke?
So,
Right. I want to find some whale puke.
so that we will be starting up a group for searching for whale puke.
Oh my
Does
God.
this
That's
not remind
absolutely.
anyone else about like when Joe Dirt found what he thought was an asteroid?
I got the poo on me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to do well if you try to pick out, ooh, you smell like good whale puke. Oh, they use that in perfumes. That's just so
That's-
weird.
So has anybody ever found something
Or
that
it says screw
was
cold
worth
silver.
something?
It's a
What else
whale.
was that?
Whales. It's in the futures, man.
I've never really found anything.
Forget
worth
crypto coin.
anything. That includes my relationships. It's like, so I haven't had. I actually want to go back to some of this really quick. So we had some Cole Orton responded. He says, "Yeah, you can have it religious over in the European nations, or you can get a civil partnership in an office. You have a lot of freedom of choice here in that regard. In that regard." I definitely would say it's a little different, your question about the legality of marriage versus over here. Because if you can do that, if you do it straight religious, you're doing it based on your religion. So it's whether or not you want to stick to it or not is ultimately up to you. The government shouldn't have a say one way or another. However, if you're doing a civil partnership and you're doing it by an office, then yeah, you probably would want to abide by certain rules and they can extend that. But because you're given a lot of options that we're not given here in the United States, it's a little different scenario, I think. And I'm a little jealous of that. I think that's kind of cool that you can choose to do either one.
Mm-hmm.
Bill says, religion or not, I can't for the life of me understand a couple sticking together if they are beating each other over the head emotionally and or physically because of vows made. If you do, you are lying to yourselves to each other. Absolutely. See, I don't think divorce is wrong. I think just jumping into things because you can easily jump out of them is wrong.
Sure.
And that's what it's become. Marriages used to last a lot longer.
Well, they were taken more seriously.
Mm-hmm. And they're not now.
No.
And that's,
Like, you
I
can get
think, where
married
the
in
issue
Vegas.
comes in. Right. I mean, you could do that before, but they still took it more seriously than they do now.
Plus, the woman was looked down on. Like, you know, if you had a child out of wedlock, things like that,
Mhm.
you'd be a harlot. You'd be spit on the streets. It's everything's changed more progressively, definitely, so that women can feel more comfortable with actually divorcing someone who beats the shit out of them.
I agree with that. And that's the only thing. I think there should be more stipulations. That's it, to get married. I do think like living together or going through the counseling, as Elena suggested, might be a good idea, or a pre-counseling service to know what you're getting into. They make you do it for so many other things out there. Well, this is a life-changing event. Make sure people are prepared, because not everybody knows what's involved, and they feel stuck. They feel trapped there. They can't get out of it, and it can destroy a lot of lives as much as they're not prepared for what they're getting into.
Definitely live together.
So aside from that, well, I did say that we're going to give away a hat, so I'm going to do that right now. I've not done this before, so let's hope it actually
Woohoo.
works. This app is, of course, courtesy of StreamYard. Big shout out to them because I appreciate that. So anybody who chatted in there, you've got a few more seconds if you want to chat really quick or say anything on there. If you have not yet, you're entered to the drawing just by chatting anything.
What's your favorite color?
What's your favorite color?
Black.
So here it is right here. This is courtesy of StreamYard. We use this app right now because they connect everything together. StreamYard is a great service for streaming if you want to use it. I'd highly recommend it. So nobody else is. Let's see who's getting a free hat for us with us right now. Let's do this. It is going to be Drina. Drina, you get a free Air Shoulder Voice hat. So we're going to be sending that to you. I'll contact you, Drina, at some point soon. Get your information. We'll send you a free Ear Shoulder Voice hat. All right. Congratulations, Drina.
That was fun.
That worked. Yeah, that worked well.
That was fun.
Round of applause for our first.
Yes, that was our first giveaway we've done. So
golf clap.
Very. I need a drum roll sound though to make it more exciting.
Right.
Drum roll. So that was good. I know we covered a lot of topics. Is there anything else that's going on? Anybody else wants to share?
Nope.
All right, sounds good.
Whatever.
It wasn't a relief cord, and I would ship it internationally for you. Trust me, I have no problem doing that. All right. And it was almost you. I almost thought I was going to. Then it flipped over one more because I thought it was going to be you. But yeah, all our Sunday shows we're going to start giving away. It could be shirts, our mugs, the just little merchandise we have for Ear Shoulder Voice, just for you because we love having you here. Drina says, "Don't forget the matching T-shirt." Well, we'll have to get you to win next week, then, won't we? Bill says, "I can bullshit." Yes, you can. You're the king of it.
Says I call bullshit is what he said.
He calls bullshit.
That's right. He doesn't agree with it.
All right. Well, you know what? I actually. Drina commented more than anybody, so it kind of works out. Even though it doesn't matter how many times you comment, as long as you just do it once, it's equal. So it benefited. Congratulations, Drina. I will definitely get in contact with you shortly so we can send you your new hat. And you can even, if you want to go to the website and pick out the colors you want, you can do that too, pre-hand. Make sure you get the right one. So aside from that, all right, for our quick segment for the passive life here, this is very simple. It's just something to do to hopefully get you through everyday life, things that we forget to do, things of common courtesy. In today's world, everything's so frantic. People are in such a bad mood. People are they're grouchy, they're temperamental because they've been stuck in. They've got the cabin fever and they just don't feel like seeing the world right now. But we still have stuff to do. We still got to get out there. And the biggest mistake I think we're making as a society is we're not treating people like fellow human beings. We're being rude. We're not talking to you. There's no please. There's no thank you or anything like that. And my only advice to you right now is when you go out, I don't care what your mood is, spread a little love around, spread a little kindness, smile, say thank you to people, even though I can't see if you're smiling sometimes. But say thank you. Open the door for people. If somebody opens the door for you, don't just walk past them like you were owed that. And a lot of people are doing that nowadays. They feel everything is owed to them, and it's not. Take a moment and make people feel appreciated. That's all a lot of people want, is to feel appreciated in this world. And it can't happen unless you do your part. So make sure to, regardless of your level of mood, say please. Say here you go. Do a favor for somebody. Say have a nice day. And treat people who are working right now with the utmost respect. Because it's very hard for people to work, especially today. So many customers are so rude to them, especially at like gas stations and restaurants. People are just snippy and they really hurt people's feelings, and they can send them into depression because you can't be nice and say a nice thing about them. So show them some respect, and don't forget that we're all human beings. We're all in this together. Today's show has been, of course, you guessed it, our open forum. I enjoyed everybody's conversation on there. It was very, very important to have that. See, we're getting less and less prepared, but we don't have to, because people are finally bringing up topics they want to talk about, which is what the open forum is all about. So we got to bring up a few things right there. Coming up on Tuesday, a special event. May the 4th be with you. That is on Tuesday, May 4th. It is a Star Wars show. Just to break free from all the bullshit we constantly do with the mental illness and stuff. I don't mean to call it bullshit, but I mean it gets deep sometimes. It gets hard. We're going to talk Star Wars. We've not done that before, and Star Wars is fucking cool. So that's what we're going to do.
My favorite is Spock.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's a good one.
When he's like doing the Firefly. Yeah, he is. It's really cool and stuff. I remember when he got into that Stargate thing, it was really crazy.
He's Slytherin, I think, right?
Yeah.
It was when he was only Slytherin and went to that school on Dune.
Yeah. I remember.
It was crazy. We're all Star Wars fanatics here. But coming up after that, our next topic on Wednesday, following that Tuesday, is the pains of pregnancy. That's right. Pregnancy sucks. But it doesn't just suck for the woman. It sucks for the guy, too.
Yeah.
But the guy doesn't often make it easier.
Bad for you.
And shut up. Shut up. But we're going to talk to him and see what we can possibly do different, how we can help each other get through these times. Because, the guy goes through hell, but the woman goes through hell too, and neither one seems to understand it the same way. So maybe we can get that out there. And you seem very keen on this, Elena, so maybe you should be there.
I've never been pregnant. I have no sympathy.
Well, then
for
you don't know
men.
what you're talking about,
Yeah.
do ya?
But you are
I
capable
still
of
don't
being
have any
pregnant.
sympathy
So
for men.
Well, that's sexist.
yeah, this
I
guy
just
can't.
don't care.
Right, that's just
I
wrong.
No
have
matter
no
what he does.
sympathy if you get a woman pregnant and then she feels like shit about it.
Babality.
I have no sympathy if a woman chooses to get pregnant and then feels
Exactly.
like shit about it.
Don't forget to like, share, follow, and subscribe to Ear Shoulder Voice so you can be notified of all our live shows. You can go to our website right now. You can see a list of upcoming shows. We've had a whole bunch all the way through July, so you can see the topics we have upcoming. Apply to be guest panelists if you want to. Just go to earshouldervoice.com. We are currently turning that into a social media website. Not everything works yet, but it will, where everybody can come together just to chat with each other and help each other out with people who genuinely enjoy helping others or genuinely need somebody to talk to and advice and help. Where maybe you don't want to share all your stuff on Facebook, we're developing a specific social media website for you to do just that, as well as talk to any of us anytime. So you guys have a great night. Thank you again for joining us at Ear Shoulder Voice. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
I didn't say.
Bye-bye.
Oh, yeah. Bye, Elena. Bye, Gabe. Bye, Anthony. There we go.
Yeah,
Okay.
whatever. So,
Hey guys, Keith Litfin here for Ear Shoulder Voice. While you're here, why don't you like, share, subscribe, and follow so you can be notified of all our new broadcasts that we're bringing to you live every week and live chat during the show. You can also head on over to www.earshouldervoice.com, find out more information, suggest topics you'd like to see our panel discuss, and even apply to be a guest panelist yourself. All right, well, that went well.
for sure.
There's definitely some engaging stuff on there. I like
that
that.
a-
Me and
How
Elena were all
unprepared
worried.
we were. I think that went well.
Well, I actually ultimately would like to not be prepared for the show and have it totally driven by those people. And that's what's happening now. The people in chat are driving the show.
I think
And
it
that's
works
what
I
we
better
need.
totally
that way.
agree.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love it.
I even didn't want to do Gabe's thing, but we kind of owed it.
Yeah. Oh, I wanted to see what the whale was about, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I did. That was the thing is we kind of, that's why I mean, we kind of owed it right now because we showed that picture last time. And Gabe was not letting me go without it. He sent that picture right away, like, we're doing this without saying a word. Like, hey, check. Picture's here.
No, I was just showing you some My Little Pony, man. That's all.
My Little Pony.
Thought you wanted to see
That's
some
just
pictures.
weird, though. That's
My
just
racist
weird.
pony.
Yeah, exactly.
My cat almost just fell off my balcony. That would have been really embarrassing.
Fuck those guys.
He won't
Then you
need the
just have to
cap in a
drink
little
it all.
longer. A little
I have
longer
to
you
work
won't need.
tomorrow with children.
Well,
I like that. I have to
Drop the
work
cap.
tomorrow as you pour more. I was like, I want to
It'll
see
be
after you
like
pour
that
how much is actually left.
It'll be like that episode.
Still pouring it.
But it was only
Oh my-
$10.
Okay, so how much is left? Oh yeah, so
Yeah.
you could drink that
Yeah.
in one more drink.
2 more drinks.
Yeah.
No, but it's like tomorrow I'll be like that scene from School of Rock where Jack Black's like, I got a hangover. Who knows what that means?
hmm
That's pretty much everybody on
Life
Sundays.
lessons.
Indeed.
Yeah, but I have to work with kids.
Makes it easier.
Their parents
Well,
don't drink.
no, I'm sorry. No, drinking makes it easier. I'm sorry. Hangovers do not.
No.
No, it'll be awful.
Yeah, well, glad you made it, Anthony. Give me a little fright. Glad you made it, Gabe.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry I didn't get back to you sooner.
It's
But
okay. I was
I'm-
just scared. I'm
if
like,
I
me and
don't-
Elena, like, yep, it's just us again.
Yeah, if
I
I
know.
The
don't
show just does
if I don't
more.
let you know, then I'm in. So
And that was topic. That was actual topic show. That was the bullying one, right?
Yeah. I feel
Or
like
no,
that made it
no.
harder because it was bullying.
It was the bullying one.
I feel like that
I
made it
gotcha.
even harder because we couldn't just like bullshit.
Yeah. No, this was good. I love our chat people. They are
Mhm.
awesome in here.
Oh, yeah.
Have fun. Drina and Cole. I'm so glad to see Cole Orton again. He's always engaging. Drina too. I love their questions. I love what they ask.
No, I
Yeah,
love
it's
that
great.
Trina's
Good.
always engaging.
Mhm.
Like she needs to be on the show one time.
I'm sure she will be. I mean, Joe called in this time, so
That's true.
that's cool. Hopefully she
Yeah.
will sometime. People are nervous to do it, though. It's a really hard thing to do, to put yourself out there like that.
Mhm.
So
I get it.
you know.
It took me a while to get used to
Mhm.
doing this.
For sure.
Yeah, it's easier to do it behind the chat, but I'm sure in time, as we get more and more people, that's going to grow, and they're going to have more people wanting to call in, and it's probably going to grow to the point that I'm not going to be able to keep up with the chat.
Right.
That's the goal.
Yeah, that's what it is. So I can, pick the things that are actual questions on there.
But at
It's a
that
good show,
point, you
though.
can sort of pick a couple and maybe set up like a scrolling thing, so that
Yeah.
everybody's still in there, but maybe not address all of them.
Yeah, and I probably will. I actually have already looked into some things that I can do to show the actual chat over the video,
Nice.
but I'm not going to do that for a while until we have thousands upon thousands of people, because everybody loves talking, and that's what's most important.